What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babes of all ages, safes, and that's right, even them sizes. It's your boy coming back at you with a little something I used to do back in the day. Now, I used to do something called Freaky Games Fridays, in which I would play games of the horror variety. But since it's now a pure reaction channel, we're gonna have to change the name. But I want to be able to do something like that again. Freaky Reaction Fridays? Ooh, I like that name. I like that name. Freaky Reaction Fridays. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Now, there should be a link in the description to my Discord, in which I have a YouTube recommendation tab, in which case you can recommend videos for things relative to reaction juice. So that would mean you guys would have to follow your boy on his social medias, wink wink wonk, wonk wink wonk 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 wink, and then simply send me all the links you can to all the nice little horror things. But Freaky Reaction Fridays is gonna be a thing. Let's get it. This time we're checking out Snarled, which reminds me, I want to say Corey Kenshin reacted to this either this video or this YouTuber. I think this is the one I'm thinking of. In which case, obviously, link in the description down below. It's gonna be lit. Have you heard of Wait, I got this. Hang on. Hachishakusama. Hachishakusama. Okay, cool. The Japanese Slender Man. Story time. Interesting. Link in the description down below. Make sure to give Snarled all that sweet love, because if it's the female that I'm thinking of, she's already freaking lit. I've already been subscribed to her for a minute. Okay, so let's get this party started. Let's do this thing. Freaky Reaction Fridays. Let's make it happen. Follow your boy on social media. Link in the description down below to my Discord, YouTube recommendations. Let's get it.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
Yeah, this is her. Yo, I knew it. I love it.
You've heard of the Slender Man, but have you heard of the tall, slender woman? This next chapter is a Japanese urban legend called Hachishakusama, which means 8 feet tall. My grandparents lived in a small village in Japan. Every summer, my parents would take me there on holiday to visit them. The last time I saw them was the summer when I was 8 years old. My grandparents were inside the house and I was playing by myself outside in the backyard. I heard a strange sound.
I heard of this!
I didn't know what it was and it was hard to figure out where it was coming from. I was looking around, searching for the source of the noise, when I noticed something on top of the tall hedges that enclosed the backyard.
I think I know this!
It was a straw hat.
I know this!
It wasn't resting on the hedge. It was behind it. That's where the sound was coming from.
Yeah!
Then the hat began to move. It stopped at a small gap in the hedge and I could see a face.
I knew it!
It was a woman.
This is her!
But the hedges were high, almost 8 feet tall. I was surprised at how tall the woman was. I wondered if she was wearing stilts or some sort of huge high-heeled shoes. Then, a split second later, she walked off and the strange noise disappeared with her, fading into the distance.
Yep. Yep.
Confused, I got up and ran back into the house. My grandparents were in the kitchen drinking tea. I sat down at the table and told my grandparents what I had seen. They weren't really paying attention to me until I mentioned that distinctive sound. They both froze. Grandma's eyes grew wide and she covered her mouth with her hand. Grandpa's face became very serious and he grabbed me by the arm. "This is very important," he said. Very
Did she look at you? Did you look at her?
How tall
was she?
As tall as the garden hedge?
Oh, man.
Where was she standing? When did this happen? What did you do? Did she see you? I tried to answer all his questions as best as I could. He rushed out to the hallway and made a phone call. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but after he hung up, he walked out the door. "Grandma, what's going on?" "There's something dangerous abducting children in this area," she said. "We call it Hachishakusama. It takes on the appearance of an extremely tall woman and says,
Oh my God.
in a deep voice. A long time ago, it was captured by monks and they managed to confine it in a ruined building on the outskirts of the village. They trapped it using 4 jizo, small religious statues that they placed at the north, south, east, and west of the ruins so that it could not escape. But somehow, it did. The last time it appeared was 15 years ago. My grandmother said that anyone who saw it was destined to die within a few days.
Oh.
It all sounded so crazy. I wasn't sure what to believe. Just then, my grandpa came back, but with an old woman who called herself Keisan. They took me upstairs to my bedroom and began covering the windows with newspaper, with ancient runes written all over them. Kason placed small bowls of salt in all four corners of the room and a small Buddha figure in the center.
Soon the sun will be setting, so listen carefully. You must stay in this room until 7:30 tomorrow morning. Do not open this door for any reason.
She placed a bucket in my hands.
Not even to use the restroom.
Ooh.
My grandparents and Kason left the room, and I locked the door after them. I couldn't believe what was happening. Was I really going to die in a few days?
Bruh.
I turned on the TV to try to take my mind off everything, and eventually fell asleep. I was awakened around 1 a.m. by a tapping sound on the window.
Nope, don't you do it.
It's probably just a tree or something,
Nope.
I told myself. Then came a knock on the door, and I heard my grandpa's voice. Are you okay in there? If you're scared, I can come keep you company.
Nope, don't do it.
Hearing his voice was such
That's
a
a
relief
trap.
that without thinking, I rushed over to
No,
the
you
door.
fool!
But something didn't feel right.
Yep.
I looked at the bowls of salt in the room. All four of them had turned black. And then I heard the sound again. The tapping on the window continued. I knelt in front of the Buddha and began to pray. I was so terrified and caught up in my chanting that I didn't realize the sounds had stopped. I checked my watch. It was 7:30 a.m. Carefully, I opened the door and ran to my grandparents. We all got in a van and headed straight for the airport. Apparently, there were others who had escaped the grasp of Hachishakusama, as long as they never stepped foot in Japan again. So 2 years ago, when my grandpa got sick, he refused to let me visit
Yep.
him. He even left strict instructions in his will to not let me attend his funeral. I couldn't believe that this creature prevented me from saying goodbye to him. So when my grandma called a few days ago to tell me she had been diagnosed with cancer,
No.
I wasn't gonna let her stop me from visiting.
Oh, no.
It's been 10 years, Grandma, and nothing has happened to me. We don't even know if this thing is
You
real.
were in Japan.
I'm not gonna let it stop me from seeing you. If you say so, dear. I love you, Grandma. I'll see you soon.
These small senses tingling. Something's off. I knew it! That was a trap! We gonna check this one out too, since my homeboy Mr. Meme actually sent two of them. We gonna check both of them right here. This one's called "The Thing That Will Kill Me." Scary story time, something scary. Snarled, yo, man. I knew I heard that one before. I saw either like some kind of anime or some kind of like one of those like comic stories. But like I had it on the background and it freaked me to freak out. And I recognized this chick's voice now. She was the one who was doing this thing. That was freaking awesome. Alright, the thing that will kill.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Wanna hear something scary?
Hey!
We close this volume with a story from the No Sleep subreddit, written by username The Thing That Will.
Ooh.
I grew up in a tiny town in Vermont. Tiny in terms of population, not size. There were huge sprawling farms and wooded areas, but almost no people. My only close friend was Tina. We spent almost all our time with each other, constantly dreaming about life outside of Vermont. The people in our town were strange folk, different than in other places. One thing I didn't realize about small towns until I moved to the city is how incredibly superstitious the people
They're
could be.
demons, confirmed.
They believed in the strange, the paranormal. They believed in Luvia.
Excuse me?
Luvia was an older French-Canadian woman who had moved to Vermont when she met her husband. And everyone in town wholeheartedly believed that she was clairvoyant. So Tina and I decided to go see her one evening for a reading. I was skeptical, but it seemed like a fun thing to do, as a joke. We dropped by her house in the early evening, and she opened the door as we walked up the pathway to her house.
Hey!
Before we even had a chance to knock, Tina elbowed me hard in the ribs and whispered that Luvia was clearly a psychic. She sensed us coming to the door. I whispered back that it probably had more to do with her house being full of windows, and the fact that she probably saw us coming from a long way away. Either
Bruh,
way,
that music.
I started to feel strange the minute we got close to her. She was very, very old, very tiny, and kind of sunken.
Oh, God.
Sunken eye sockets and sharp cheekbones and a sort of concave chest cavity.
She's dead.
It was more than a little unnerving. But she smiled and was sweet to
Oh.
us, and I started to warm up to her.
Yay!
Nothing about her or her house screamed creepy psychic to me. Just a well-dressed older woman in a cabin-style house.
Hey.
We told her that we were interested in a reading and handed her about $20 that we had gathered together between the two of us.
$20?
What can you tell me about my love life?
Dead.
Tina asked.
You'll die in 3 days.
Luvia had no crystal ball, tarot cards, or tea leaves. She just closed her eyes and sat silently for about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Carton, the man you're going to marry. Michael Carton. Tina thanked her and repeated the name to herself a few times. Michael Carton. Michael Carton. Luvia then turned to me. She looked straight into my eyes, grabbed my hands, and said, "The thing that will kill you is shedding its skin. The thing that will kill you is sharpening its teeth. The thing that will kill you is washing the blood off of its claws. The thing that will kill you is gathering skins. The thing that will kill you, you won't see it coming."
Alright, cool. Listen. So, as a smart individual, what I would have done the second she grabbed my hands is as follows. You see, I'm a smart individual. I'm the kind of man who, when seeing some supernatural bull, slowly analyzes the entire situation. Most of the time it involves me getting the freak frack up out of there. So in that situation, what I do is I nope the nope out while the demon is sharpening his claws so I can, live and stuff like that. So, nope.
The three of us sat there in silence for quite a while. I felt sick.
You should.
Shaken.
Dying.
Luvia looked as if she wished she didn't have to tell me that. "Is there anything I can do to stop it?" Luvia slid our money back across the table to us. "No charge for the reading." Tina and I slunk out of Luvia's house quietly.
There's that beat again.
We didn't say a word on the way back to our houses. Tina just found out the name of the love of her life. I got to listen to a horrifying cryptic message about my death. I was only 12 years old. For years, I looked for it. The thing that will kill me. I could almost feel it. Sense it just behind each car, swaying behind the trees at night. With every step, I hesitated. Every time I tried to sleep, I could almost see it. What had she said about its teeth? But I never found it. When I was 18, I left for college in California to get far away from the snow and the cold and the thing that will kill me. People in California laughed when I told them the story, and it stopped seeming real. Just the ramblings of a tiny, ancient French-Canadian woman. It wasn't real. When I was 27, a wedding invitation came in the mail. Tina was getting married. This was the first I had heard of it. I was still in California and barely kept in contact with anyone from back east. It seemed like a past life. "You are cordially invited to the wedding of Michael Carton and Tina."
Michael C. Michael Carton.
She had the name in her mind. Michael Carton.
Michael Carton.
And she sought him out. It had nothing to do with Luvia. Her predictions weren't real. They couldn't be. Clairvoyants don't exist.
Word.
Right? I went to the wedding. Tina, Michael, and I laughed about the whole thing. The psychic knew. She predicted it. Of course she didn't. Tina and Michael decided it was nothing more than a funny story to tell their future children. "Just tell us if you run into some beast with razor-sharp teeth that's gathering skins, okay?" I left the wedding as sure as I ever was that the thing that will kill me wasn't real. I didn't know why I had been scared so long. The best thing about Tina's wedding was that we got back in touch for the first time in a very long time. We were very different people than we had been as children, but we still shared more of a bond than we realized. She was happy living in Vermont with Michael. As the years went on, her calls and emails got less and less frequent. She always seemed to be busy. Soon, they tapered off completely. I missed her, of course, but I had my own life. One winter, I came into town to visit my parents for the holidays and decided I'd swing by Tina's house. I normally never just drop by, but she was pretty bad about answering her phone and I really wanted to see her. I pulled up to her and Michael's house. 2 cars were in the driveway, so I figured they were both home. I walked up and rang the doorbell.
These more senses tingling.
Michael opened it, dressed in several layers in a large coat, as if he had just come in from the snow. He looked very surprised to see me. He invited me inside. He took off his coat and hung it on a coat rack by the door and asked if I had talked to Tina recently.
Something's wrong.
I haven't actually, not in several months. Sorry for the invasion. I don't usually just drop by like this, but I just wanted to see her. Is she here? I figured you'd know.
Oh, they broke it off.
That you might have heard. She left me a few months ago. Hasn't spoken to me since.
Oh, damn.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Then whose car was in the driveway? I'm sorry, I was about to get ready for bed. I've got an early workday tomorrow.
Whose car?
Do you mind? He kicked off his shoes, pulled his sweater off, and headed toward his bathroom. I settled in and looked around their home. So, do you know where she lives now? I don't. She didn't call until after she was gone.
Beast Mode senses tingling.
He started flossing, and when he saw me looking toward him, closed the door for privacy. When I heard the shower water start running, I pulled out my phone, figuring I'd take this time to look through Tina's last messages to me to see if she gave any hint to where she went, any clue. My phone fell out of my hand as I grabbed it out of my bag, and I saw it drop beneath the couch. As I felt around under the couch for my phone,
dead body.
My hand hit something else. A massive clump of long hair. Brown hair. Like Tina's.
No!
Hair with a piece of scalp still attached. The thing that will kill you is gathering skins. I turned toward the bathroom door.
Oh, shh.
Michael was still
Oh,
showering.
God.
The thing that will kill you is washing
Washing
the blood
out
off
of its claws.
Flossing. Brushing. The thing that will kill you is sharpening its teeth. Sloughing off
Yo!
its clothes. The thing that will kill you is shedding its skin. Oh, God. The thing that will kill me.
It's Michael!
The water in the shower stopped. I ran out the door, slammed the door, sprinted to my car, shaking, watching the door. My hands fumbled with keys, shaking. The door to the house opened. My car started. I drove. I didn't look back. I just kept driving all through the night. Through most of the next day. Only stopping when I absolutely...
Yo!
I had no idea if he was following me. I had no idea what I had just seen. My heart didn't start beating normally again until I was 2 states away. I went home.
Bruh!
This was months
If
ago.
that shovel on twist, boy!
I called the police. They investigated. Nothing turned up. They're sure she just left him, moved away. Maybe she did. Maybe she's far away.
Nope, dead.
Maybe nothing's coming for me. Maybe Michael's just a poor guy whose wife left him. Maybe it's nothing behind the trees, in the snowdrifts, underneath the cars, outside my door.
Behind you right now.
And the windows. Maybe it's nothing. Probably, it's nothing. Luvia's been wrong before.
Right?
Hasn't she? The thing that will kill you. You won't see it coming.
M. Night Shyamalan twist for the win! Oh my god, that was fantastic. That was fantastic, yo. Yo, you already know the deal, man. Link in the description down below to Snarled. Make sure you give her all the beast mode love you got inside of your sweet soul juice. Yo, freaking awesome, man. Link in the description down below as well to my Discord and or follow me on my social medias at BeastlyBoy52, all of them. Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. Give all the awesome recommendations, not only for Freaky Reaction Fridays, but every other kind of reaction as well. Let's go do it for the video, man. If you like this video, take your beast mode claws of awesomeness juice, slash that like button. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and boys, so I'll add your stripes and sizes, baby. Love, peace, boom, boom. Stay beast mode for the epic queen of all the winds.
The thing that will kill you. You won't see it coming.
The thing that will kill you. You won't see it coming. The thing that will kill you. You won't see it coming.
The thing that will kill you, you won't see it coming.
Yeah!